In this video, I'm going to walk you through on how to create forms as well as subforms using MS Access. To create forms, we have to first establish relationship between the tables in MS Access, which is very similar to the one we have followed before. Go to Database Tools, click on Relationships, and then connect the primary key and foreign keys to establish the relationship. Once this is done, you can start creating forms as well as subforms. To create a simple form, you can use the Form Wizard, which you can find in the Create tab and click on Form Wizard. Here, you can choose the table from which your form derived all its columns or attributes. So I'm going to choose the library table and I'm going to choose all the columns in the library table to be displayed in my form. Click on Next. I would like to stick on with the columnar type of view for my form. So I'm going to keep that and then select Next. Here I can give a name for my form. So I'm going to give the name of my form as library_form. Once you're done giving the name, click on Finish. So Access automatically generates a form with all your selected fields displayed in the form. In order to navigate through this form, you can use these buttons which are below displayed here to navigate through the form. If you scroll your mouse over these symbols, you can find what they mean. This is to navigate to the next record. This is to navigate to the previous record. This symbol to navigate to the last record in your library table or your library form. In case you want to insert a new record into the library table, then you can do so by using the new blank record option. I'm going to create a new library record called library 11. Name is bird library. Address is Syracuse. Email is bird@Syracuse. And an arbitrary phone number. When you click on enter, Access stores this new record in the library table. Also, the SQL Server table will also be updated since we have established a link between the MS Access and SQL Server. You can also check this by double-clicking the library table option displayed here. You can see that a new library has been added. So this is how you use Access to create a very simple form with the Form Wizard option. Suppose you want to create a form with subforms in it. How do you do that? Access allows you to do it using the Form Wizard option. So similar to the previous option, go to Create Form Wizard. And now here, since you're going to have form with subforms, you have to select columns from multiple tables. So I'm going to choose columns LID, name and address from my library table. And then I'm going to choose the human library event ID, date, location from the human library event table. And from the book table, I'm going to choose the book ID as well as the title. Make sure that you choose the primary keys or the keys that establish relationship between these tables, because that's how Access identifies that these tables are interconnected. Once you are done selecting all your columns, click on Next. Here you can see the layout of your form with subform. So it's going to have library ID, name and address as the main form from the library table. It's going to have event ID, date and location from the human library event table as a subform, and then another subform from the book table which has book ID as well as title. Make sure that the form with subforms option or radio button is selected before you move on. After that, click on Next. I'm going to stay with the datasheet view for my subforms and then click on Next. Here you can give the name for your forms. Once you have given names for your forms as well as subforms, click on Finish. Here you can see that Access has automatically generated a form with two subforms for you to play with. In order to navigate this form with subform, you can use the buttons below, as we saw, similar to the one for the normal form. So when you navigate, you see that the subform records change according to the main form. So according to the library ID, the human library ID event as well as book differ or change, which can be seen when you navigate through this form. Since I did not assign any event or book for my newly created record, these records are blank. So this is how you create form with subforms using MS Access.